All right, done now. Okay, so that is for the web conferencing. So this is one of the most important one besides the unit online and the announcement, right? And okay, and when you um, the lectures, right? When you are in the lecture or you are in the class, you will see, you have this, user interface, right? So you can talk with me and other students as well. So sometime if you have like when you work on your task and you have problem, sometimes you want to show us what you are doing, so we can have more, information and we can give you better instruction. There's one thing you see here, is a button called share content that you can share your screen, right? So you can share the screen by click on share content on the bottom, left hand side, the bottom part here, and you can click on share application screen, right? And if you don't find that, normally I will assign student. Let's say somebody like let's say Andrian Yanli. That's it. I will assign a presenter, and then he or she can share the screen, and we can see how it works. Yeah, yes, it is, right? And that's just for the this one, and also this one. When you want to watch the recorded video, right? So to go to the left hand side here. Yes. And then you can go down and you can see like there will be there could be some when after this class there could be a link here saying that recorded video, right? And then you can click on that and then you can see the recorded video, right? So that is a quick tour about how to use Milo for your learning. Okay, what more is about how to get the content, right? So here, right, you can see the slide for each week and the tutorial, right? So let's go to next week. So we don't have tutorial this week. We have from week 2, which means next week. And here we have so we have a slide for the lectures. And if you go down, you have more some more resource, like the video about some other topic, and also more importantly, you will have tutorial. So that is a document that you work for the tutorial. And we also give you a video instruction if you want to work it before, right? So if you want to prepare the tutorial before you class, the video instruction video for you, right? And for the quiz and after tutorial, you have a quiz that you will work on to get the mark for this. So you go to assessments, quiz, right? So here you can find the quiz, right? So we have a lot of quiz, 10 quiz for 10 weeks. And here are the free practice quiz that you can just you can play it. You can practice the quiz as many as you want before you go to real quiz. So I will make the real quiz available next week, because next week will be the first week for the tutorial, right? But these are the practice quiz that you can play with this. You don't have a mark for any of them, but you have the material to practice to see like what the question will be and some related information that you can use for your real quiz. All right. So, and when you have assignments, right, you can submit assignment here. Here's the place you submit assignment. the document for assignment will be in the content in this one. Yeah, so I will put the assignment here for you, and when you have the assignment done, you submit here. Yes. Okay, so let's go to the lecture today. Somebody send me an email about lectures. Okay, so the link here is the okay. Yes, I will. Don't worry. I will. I will show my screen. So maybe you can find some exam questions somewhere. It's good for you. So, okay, so let's go to the lecture. All right, can you see the lecture slide? Yeah, hopefully that's yes.
That one?
Okay, I didn't see anything, but hopefully that's yes. Yes, okay.
Can you
I'll go
hear
back
us?
to it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Cheers, thanks.
Um, yeah, I need to share. Yeah, let me prepare the screen for you. Okay. All right. So let's start with the lecture. So this is about introduction to data science. So as we know that data science, is a hot topic right now, right? So we want to prepare for students, the information that they need to, to deal with, data in the future career. So this is the team this semester. So my name is Sun Chun. So I am the unit coordinator and also lecturer of this unit. So a little bit about myself. So I did my master degree and my PhD degree in the UK, in the United Kingdom, and I did my postdoc in CRIO in Brisbane, and then I moved to UTAS as a lecturer around 1.5 years ago. And in UTAS, I teach mostly about artificial intelligence and data science. That's my background and my expertise. So I'm also doing some research about artificial intelligence and data science as well. And in the team, we have 2 other tutors. So we have Samuel Horton in Hobart. He's also a tutor. He's a long-term tutor for this unit. And we also have another one. He is Mohammed. He's also the postdoc in ES, and he will help us with this unit in this matter. So here's my email. So sn.john@utas.edu, right? So if you have any questions, send me. So I'm quite active, highly available in Milo and email. So just if you have any questions, send me. So I could try to reply as soon as possible. So in this lecture, I will give you a quick introduction to the unit. What the unit is unit about, and what we expect to learn in this unit. And you'll go through some learning activities and assessment, and I will give you some tips for success in this unit. So I taught this unit last year and also this year, so have some experience to help you to success this unit. And of this lecture, we'll go through some basic information about data management. So in this unit, so we everything we do is just like to deal with data. But that to deal with data, we need a lot of tools and techniques, right? So because that is an introduction unit, so we give you some very basic, very fundamental, knowledge for you to begin with. We don't need to do any programming. The tool we need here is Excel, right? It's a very popular tool, the Microsoft Excel tool. You just need to, use the tool, put the number, and then play with the function that provided by Microsoft with Excel. So in order to deal with data, first, what we need is to store data, right? We need to know how to store data. And then we need to know how to access the data. After accessing data, we need to extract the information. There's some hidden information inside the data that we don't know. So data science techniques will help you to do that. And after extract the information, you need to refine the information, right, to get the knowledge, right, the useful knowledge of the information, and then you can turn the knowledge into values. So we'll go through all of them, all of these steps in this unit. But we go a little bit different way. We don't study storage first, but we study how to work with the big data first, and then we will study how to analyze the data. Later on, we'll go back and then we will focus on the data storage later. But overall, right, when you finish this unit, we will learn how to store data in different type, like can be in file system or can be in a database. And you can also learn how to extract data using query or using language tool to get the data. And you can also find the way to extract information from data. And then you know how to apply the extraction, right, of the information, extracted information, to get the knowledge from data, and then make application. So in this unit, we have 4 learning outcomes. Outcome is ability to understand how to get data, convert data, and store data, right? And then in second learning outcome, you will demonstrate the ability to to use techniques to extract the knowledge and information from data, and then how to analyze them and evaluate them. Because when we have different type of analyzing techniques, right? So we need to evaluate which technique is suitable for different situations. And the third learning outcomes is ability to apply the knowledge that you learn in this unit and develop some applications, just prototype application, some solution to deal with real life application, real life problem. And the last one is when you have all these knowledge, you would identify challenge the impacts of data science on the society business. You see, like after this, maybe you can find a way to help your even for your future study. So I know some students use the techniques we learn here to to plan the way of learning, so that he can get a better sorry. Let's see, we have yeah, Paul, what's your question, please?
I typed it in chat.
Yeah. So this is so yeah. So we will learn the Excel in the tutorial. So in the tutorial, we provide you the step-by-step to work with Excel. So we do not need to learn Excel like because that is not an Excel unit, right? It's not unit about Excel. It's about data science unit, and Excel is a tool, and we will teach you how to use that tool in the tutorial class. For the version of Excel, any current version is good. So can be maybe from 2013 up to now. Yeah, because I found that from 2013, Excel 2013 up to now work very fine with the tutorial. Right, so yeah. Doesn't 365 come with being a user? 365, I think that is 365 is the online, right? It's online. We haven't tested with the online Excel yet, but I believe that it will work there. But let me know. I will I will send an email today to see whether all of you have a suitable Excel software for this unit. We can test, you can play with that, and if you don't have a a working Excel, then we can find ways to help you to to get through. No, Joshua. So we have tutorials. So each week you have just one tutorial. We will go through this. We will talk about that. So each week we will have just one tutorial and just go to one of them. Can we use database or NoSQL or Hadoop instead of Excel? So they are different things. So we don't use we will have a database, but the database is installed in our university. So you just access to that. So we will give you some instruction how to install VPN, and you can access to the database, from your place to the local to the database. So we call it a category test. So it just you will be given some documents of how to install and work with this. Excel is everything is online now, Rachel. Everything is online now. So as I stated in the beginning of the class, that you will go to the web conferencing and you can see the tutorial there. But you need to remember your tutorial time, right? Time and location. And then there's a lot of tutorial class in the web conferencing, and you need to choose which one is for you, because don't go to the class it's not for you, because if the tutorial cannot find you in the list, they cannot mark you. Now we have just started Shuang Yang, and also we have recorded video, so you can watch this after the class. Yes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let me just go through. Yeah, that's all right. You can have question now. Don't worry. So are you clear with the unit outline? That's important, right? So you need to. So each part of the unit, you will have the unit outline associated with that. Let's say you have like 3 unit outline associated with question 1, 3, 4 unit outline. Sorry, learning outcomes were associated with like question 2, etc. So in order to pass the unit, you need to pass the learning outcomes. So the unit outline that is in the in Milo that I showed you before. Okay, and here is the content of the unit, right? Okay, don't worry. Just if you have any questions, just type in. Yeah, I will answer this. Yeah. So maybe because if we go through all the the slides, so maybe you have questions at some point, and after that you forget it, right? So anytime you have questions, let me know. So that is content map. So we have in today that we will do introduction, right? And next week we will study big data, and then we have data visualization, and then we have like we will learn statistic tech, right? To analyze data. And after that, we will learn clustering and classification techniques, to do prediction for data. And then we moved on to learn about the data management tools. So we have different ways to store data, right? So can store in a file, can store in the database. So we will learn all of them. So we learn how to store data in XML. We learn to store data in relational database, and then we go to see how these techniques, all of the information we learn, can be applied to real world, like how you can apply data for data science, for management, for business, and for other things as well. And at the end, in week 13, we will revise everything in this unit, and we will go through some question in the exam, so to prepare you for the exam. And here is learning activities. So we have each week we have a 1 hour lecture and 2 hour tutorial. So you have one tutorial class each week. You can see a list of online tutorial class in Milo. You choose only one, right? The one that you register, right? So don't go to another tutorial class. Okay, for assessment, we have the tutorial test. So in tutorial class, we have 2 parts. And in the first part, you will work on some exercise. So it's just an exercise to prepare you for the test. So you will work on the exercise. The exercise will be like how to play with Excel, how to type SQL. So after finishing the exercise, you can do the quiz, right? Do the test. Let's go to Milo, and then in the assessment to quiz, and then in that you can see, weekly quiz there, and you can choose the quiz on the week you want to work on, and you just finish the quiz. So remember that you need to do the quiz during the tutorial class. So if you after the tutorial class, if you do the quiz, you will not get a mark, right? You don't get anything. So the quiz, you must attend the tutorial class to do the quiz and get mark, right? So attend the tutorial class, please. Don't, if you don't attend the tutorial class, you will you don't have the quiz, and that's not good. So, and we have a 9 quiz, I think 9 quiz, and we have all of them will constitute to 27% of the total mark. Beside that, you have assignment. So the assignment will be about how to apply data modeling, right? So you will be given a scenario, and let's say a real life scenario, and then you will design a database based on that scenario, and then you will explain how this database will work in this situation. And the assignment will be 23%. And at the end, we have an exam, right? We have an exam which is 50% of the mark. So we have 9 tests. So starting from next week, so each week we have. Luckily, we have lecture in the Monday, and then we learn everything, and then we can have more information for the test. That's very good. So we have 9 tests, and they have 27%. So each test will be 3% of the total mark. Each quiz will be 3%. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we need to attend the tutorial class to do the quiz, right? So don't miss the tutorial class. So for the assignment, so that's some brief information about the assignment. So in the assignment, you will give a scenario like how to, let's say in real life scenario, let's suppose you are working for a company. So we will, let's say, make a scenario about a company, and then we'll give you information about this company, and then you will design the database to store the information for a customer in that company, right? And in order to do the assignment, you need to draw a diagram, right, for that scenario, and then interpret that diagram using the knowledge you learn in the unit. And then after interpreting the diagram, you will make a database. You will learn about this later in the lectures. So not now. This just is introduction. So don't worry about this. You will learn all of them. The software is not difficult. You can use a lot of tools to design diagrams. You can use Microsoft Word, or you can use Microsoft PowerPoint, and also you can there's a lot of tools. Some people use Visio, online Visio, but it is not necessary. You can use PowerPoint to do that diagram very easily. And then you can create a database, right, and perform some queries. So all of them you will learn in this in this unit. Here, so this one is very important, right? Plagiarism. So academic misconduct will be seriously punished in our university. So because now we are moving everything online. So from my experience, that last semester we started to do online teaching and assessment, and the number of academic misconducts increased, which is very sad, very sad. We didn't expect that. So I hope that you shouldn't do this in this unit, because everything is transparent here, right? So everything you learn is in the lectures, is in the tutorial, and it's not difficult. So just if you just attend the class, attend the tutorial, do the job, then you will get the high mark, I'm sure. So you do not need to cheat, right? Okay, so for assessment, for assignment, you can, normally, you don't need to submit, if you have any issues, like you have some difficulty, you should email me before, so that I can help you. I can help you to solve the problems. And if you have like some medical issues, and you go to the doctor and get the certificate and give to me, so we can grant you some extension. However, if you miss the deadline, then after up to 24 hours after the due date, you still can have mark, but only 80% of the actual marks. And if you late, like more than 24 hours and up to 7 days after the due date, then you can only have 50%, right? And if you are later than 7 days, then your work will not be marked. And remember that some do the assignment, right? Do whatever you can with the assignment. If even though that, like, if so, like suppose that you forget it, and then let's say on you remember, okay, you have assignment. Don't just like, okay, just forget it and hope that you will have a very good result in the exam and you can pass. It will not work like this, because we measure the engagement, right? So if you don't have assignment submitted, and if you don't have enough test score, then even though you have 100% for the exam, you will not pass, because you don't have enough internal assessment, right? So don't ignore internal assessment. So the test and the assignment, they are very important, even though they are just like 27% or they just like 23%, right? The exam is higher, right? The exam has 50%, but even though just 23%, it can affect your mark greatly. Okay, for extension, right? As I said, because some of you may have difficulty for doing the assignments at the beginning, so try to as soon as possible. And when you find a problem, you find an issue that you don't understand or you need help, let me know. So I will be there to help you, right? And we also have tutor. They also their responsibility is also to help you to understand and to work on assignments. And if you want extension, so as long as you have a valid reason, then we will give you extensions. So here is some other information that you can check. So this is about learning development and student advice, right? So you can go there and check in our website. For a resource, so the unit is self-contained, which means that you do not need to have any other external resource. Everything is in Milo and in the lectures and in the tutorials, right? So you also can have some help from other students or from tutor or from me. So if you don't understand anything, email me or put the question in discussion forums, and then we can discuss it. So in order to succeed, so this unit, so that I think forward, you just like participate actively in the unit, attend the lecture regularly, take note during the lecture. If you have questions during lectures, ask. And if you have like the work, group work in the lecture, or if you have questions in the lecture, try to answer. Don't worry that if you answer it wrong, right? We're here to learn, right? So don't be shy. Just ask everything you want to ask, or answer, and anything that you can come up with. So in the lecture, just not sit, because now that's now we have an online lecture. So yeah, of course you can sit anywhere. So and try to make notes. We have a recording here, but sometimes some information go through your head, and you need to capture it. So then most, and maybe later on you can get back. Otherwise, just watch the recorded video, then it's very boring, and sometimes make you sleepy. So take your time, right? Use your time in the lecture. So in the tutorial, you should attend the tutorial so that you can do the test, right? First, because you will have mark for that. And also in the lectures, just ask your tutor, right? Use your tutor as much as possible. So don't be shy. If you have any question about the exercise, right? Just ask the tutor, and the tutor will help you. And if you have time, prepare the tutorial. Before going to the tutorial class, we will give you the video instruction, so you can work it by yourself. And you may prepare everything in advance. And when you go to the class, you can save your time, and you can finish this very quickly, and then have more time to do the test. So in the question, right? So hope that you can bring the question home, and then try to find. Maybe I asked some question, and even my answer is not perfectly correct. So maybe when you get back home, you can find out some better solution, right? For the assignments, the tip is that you should start the assignment as soon as possible. So the assignment will be released. It will be available very soon in week 5 to week 6, week 5 or week 6, something like that. And you can start right away after that. If you have any question, again, let me know. And if you have any health issue or any difficulty, also if you want to have extension, also let me know. Then we give you more time to finish the assignments. All right, so that's is all about the information, general information about the unit. All right, so any question about this? Okay, so in a tutorial, the quiz was just about 20 to 30 minutes, right? So it doesn't, it's not very long. And the rest of the time, at the beginning of the tutorial, you will do the exercise. So the exercise will help you to, to get information about the quiz that you will work on. Yes, the quiz. The quiz will be timed, so you will be given a duration like 30 minutes, something like that. And yeah, you need to finish within that time. All right. So no, as I said, Ella, you need to finish the quiz during the tutorial class. All right. So you cannot, after the tutorial class, the quiz, the mark will not count it. So will not be counted. So do it in the class, as I said. Okay, so let's go to the first test of data science. Uh, so data science, right? So the science about data. So as you know that data is everywhere, right? So even we are talking now, we are generating data. So if we what I'm doing now is generating data, and data will be stored in Milo in web conferencing. So the data I am providing is video data, right? So and also like text data. If when I show the slides like this, so text data, video including voice and images. So and when you type here the question and I answer you, we are also providing data. So you see data everywhere. So when we're doing like this, so we see that the first step people work with data is store the data, right? So to manage data. When what does the and store in the in Milo system. When it chat like this, it also store in Milo system, right? Or if you use other application now, like if you use let's say social media platform like Facebook or Twitter, etc., right? You are generating data. So don't think that you just like use the platform for fun, right? You are generating data, and that's why the owner and the founder of these platform, they are billionaires, because you are providing data for them, and they use your data for profits, right? So the data is the key thing in the world right now. So the people who has more data will be more likely to be successful in the business. So the data science is so that is first part of data science, right? First, in order to do anything with data, you need to store data first and manage data. Suppose you have 1,000,000 terabyte of data, right? It's very valuable data, right? You just don't just like, okay, have data and then I will analyze it. Not like this. We need to manage the data first. We need to store data so that you can quickly retrieve the data and then analyze it. So you have like, let's say 100,000 terabyte, and you need to store, let's say you store all of them in one very big, very huge computer, right? Then when you get the data, it takes, let's say, 1 year to read all of the data. That is not useful, right? You need to find a way to manage data effectively, efficiently as well, so that when data, okay, you can get the data very quickly. Before doing anything with the data, we need to store and manage data first. So when you store data and manage data effectively, you can now retrieve data, do the analysis, right? For data analysis, that's question. That's answer for Justin, right? So using data science, we that not only for big companies, right? So of course, big company has more chance because they have more tools and resources to get the data and analyze data. But even small business, right? Even small company, or even just a person like you, a student, you can also use data science technique to help you to to succeed, right? So it's one of my friend who did PhD in statistics, right? So he collect all information about lottery for like 20 years, and then based on his analysis, he would try to find out how many times he needs to play one number, and he will he will win this. Actually, it's just like theoretical analysis, but I don't know if he actually applies it in real life or not, because that is just one example, right? So, but for even small business and person, we can utilize this science techniques to help us to in our life. So in business, data science will help optimize the business system. For example, like Google Amazon, right? Let's say Amazon, they use data science to analyze the behavior of customer so that they can find which marketing strategy which is the best in which time, so that they can maximize the benefits, profits. Or even like you see that in if you use Facebook, right? Sometimes you see some application, some advertisement that you know that why it happens, right? Because you may read something somewhere else, but then some advertisements appear. They use data science techniques to analyze your behavior and then tailor their platform to show what is most likely advertisement that you will click on. And a lot of things can do with DSN as well. So one of the popular technique is prediction, right? Always like predictive analysis. So let's say we want to predict whether a customer will buy this product or not, right? Or want to predict like how many people will watch a movie, right? So that is also a part of data science. So I'm not sure, but some people say, okay, that's true that data science is improving the world. Of course, it helps business system to be optimal, right? So more customer also benefit from that. You can find, let's say you plan for a trip and then you just go to a trip advisor and then you can find a lot of comments, right? And maybe you can get have some suggestion about what trip you should go for. Or if you go Netflix, right, or YouTube, after you watch a video clip or a movie, then they will suggest you what's the next one you might be interested in. So it helps you to save time to search for the best movie or. But on the other hand, there is science that some people exploit data science for bad things. So you see that like some companies sell your personal information for their partner, so that they can analyze the data for something else, not for your own good, right? So that's a trade-off when you deal with the data, when you use data. So but in the point of view of data scientists, data is also some valuable thing, right? So if you have a lot of data, then okay, you can make a lot of things with this. That's true, Winston. It's Cambridge Analytica. I don't want to speak a name because that's quite a thing that we a lot with that company, but we have a lot of other companies as well. Yeah, but suppose you put your shoe in you put your feet in the shoes of data scientists, right? The more data you have, the more data you pick. But if you are a user, then you need to be careful. Okay, so the tool that we can do with data science, we need to, after storing data and managing data, right? You will need some tool to analyze data, and then you need to use statistic methods get insights of the data. So to see what's inside of data, what we can have, and etc. And we can do coding, but in this unit, don't worry, we do not do coding yet, right? So we use Excel tools to do everything. And in order to show what you have in the data, the one technique is so the information inside data, so that people can easily understand it. So let's say I am a climate change scientist, right? I have a lot of information about climate change, but if I talk to you, it's hard to tell you exactly what. But if I visualize it, right, using graphical representation, then it's easier, right? So visualization is very good communication tool. to convey the information to so benefits benefits is a lot. Help you to build even a company, right, to analyze the data, or help a company to optimize the operations, right. It can also help us like academics. So we can use a lot of data from students from, let's say, 10 years ago, and we can see whether the teaching techniques and the methods we are using is optimal or not, right, to find out how to optimize our teaching. So data science can help us do all of this. So the data we have, normally we store, can be like can be in different form, right? It can be in a file, it can be in your mind, it can be in a tape, it can be in a hard drive, etc. It can be in piece of paper as well. System analysis is a different thing. So system analysis is about how you work with let's say system. So you have, let's say, computer system, right? So you analyze system analysis means you have computer system, and computer system is working okay. Then you can analyze how to optimize it, and how, if the computer system work not well, you can analyze to see what is the problem. But not limited to computer system. It can be a business system as well, right? It can be hardware system, can be business system, can be many other systems, but not about data scientists. But it can be related. So if you can get information, can get data from a system and apply the data, analytic techniques, then we can use data science, to help the system analytic. So okay, so we have different types of data. We can have raw data, right? So the raw data can be measured and can be observed. So like the raw data is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You can see the raw data, or the picture, right? You have picture. This is the raw data, right? You can see pictures of people in the airport. It's raw data. But when you have raw data, you can need to get the values from data. So you have a picture from airport, right? So it's just the raw data. Analytics, you can identify, okay, in that picture, that there's a terrorist, appear in that picture. So that is the value, right? So you can get the value from the raw data. Or you have a lot of numbers from a restaurant, but just a raw data. But from the numbers there, it say about the data time number of person who who was in the restaurant, and how much money they spend on, right? So from all of these information, all of these data, you can calculate the values, right? See like, okay, which day is best day to sell, to sell spaghetti, which day is better to sell hamburger, something like that. So when we work with data, we need to think like, where the data from, how accurate data is, because there's some noise in the data. Data is not perfect, and is this data is useful for the purpose we are aiming to, or what the data mean, right? So here's some example, right? So here is some format of data. So when you have data format, so you need to interpret the format into semantic form. So let's say we have a series number. It can be a date time, and we need to identify, is this in the order of the date, so that you can get exact information stored in the data. So I think we a little bit over the time, but let me go quickly. So here is Chuck's data hierarchy, right? So we have data at the bottom. That's raw data you have from different sources, like from restaurant, from airport, from other sources as well. And on top of that, after applying data analytic technique, you can get information. So you can condense data into the information. So give you some piece of information, but that's just information, right? So on top of information, what you need Can you see the slide is there? So is it still in the slide wisdom, right? Okay. It's moving now. Okay, it's weird. Okay. Yeah, I just reach it. Right, so I see it now. Okay. All right. So just again here. So we have data at the bottom, right? So it's rolling, and then you can have you know, information. It's actually, it should be in the shape of the triangle like this. Yeah. But you know, after applying data analytic techniques, we have information, right? So after that, information just give you a general context, but after that you can get more, you know, specific, you know, knowledge that can be useful for your business. And on top of knowledge, when you combine different knowledge together, you can have wisdom, which means that the, you know, ultimate, you know, thing that we want to have from data, right? So data mainly about facts, about number, and it's just a building block of information. So normally number or like text or like some type of, you know, value representation, right? So can be like sound or can be video, can be audio, something like that. So that is the data. But information is the, you know, processed data, right? So you remove all of the, let's say from picture, remove all of the background, right? Just focus on the person or people in the picture. Or from restaurant, right? You remove all the other unrelated information, just data, just keep the thing that related to the restaurant information. So they call it, you know, information. We call. So the data after process, it can reveal some meaning. They are information, right? So when we have the information, then we need to have accurate and relevant information, which is very important, because if you get wrong information, then it's very bad for the decision-making process later on. And the difference between knowledge and wisdom. So knowledge, after you have knowledge, right? So you can exploit. Yes, Winston. Yeah, I think I told it in the beginning of the lectures, but I will get back to this after the lecture, right? So I'm get back to this. So just let me finish this. This is knowledge and wisdom, right? And this lecture. So we have knowledge, right? So that is selected information, right? That can be useful. But then the quality of the knowledge is important. That you, when you combine the knowledge together and make something, you know, very useful, very valuable, then we have wisdom, right? So here's an example of restaurant, right? We have a data is like, you know, just like number or identity, right? It can be, let's say here we have data about 2 large burger and 2 medium-sized soft drinks as a data, and then after that we convert the data into information by collecting all of the data for every day in a month, for instance, and then plot it and show it. Then we have information, and then from this information, what decision we can make. So how we can decision, we will see, okay, it's good data. That is right. Yeah, Paul, that's great example. Yes. Cool. So that is, you know, as I said, those the difference between data, information, and knowledge, right? Data is raw material. Information is processed data. Knowledge is what we can, you know, use to make decision, to make, you know, the value. All right. So that is the lecture. So let's go to the tutorial, right? So it's question about tutorial. Cool. So question about the tutorial. So before we go to the tutorial, Joe, any question about the unit today? It's just very, brief introduction, right? Any? Okay. So I will show you the tutorial. So because I show it in the beginning, but I forgot to record it. So now the tutorial here. So the question about tutorial. Yeah. How to select a tutorial class, right? So when you go to the assessment quiz, right? No, here in the tutorial, go to communications and web conferencing like this. So remember that you are already allocated for one class, right? If you don't, contact Julia, right? So here is the old tutorial class. H for allocation and for time, right? So let's say it's a new Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tuesday. So check your tutorial time, and if that is your tutorial time, then that's the one. You can ask anything you want. Yes, if you can answer, I think we have a lot of smart students here. They can answer as well. So ask everything, I guess. Yes, the lecture slide is on Milo, Thomas. Nice to see you again in Kit 102. Yeah. One. What is the question? What other units should I so choose? Want to be data scientist? Oh, you already want to be a data scientist, which is good. Then I think you do some programming. Yeah, you can do some programming unit. Like I think you did that, right? Kit 10001101, something like that. So, programming thing, and you can also do Kit 108, which is artificial intelligence, and this one, and you can have like one unit about web programming. Also help you to learn something about data storage, data management, and there's one unit is 306, which is about data science as well, but high level. All right, so it's time. Yeah, you can leave. Nice to see you, and see you next time. That is all for today. Thank you very much. Cheers. See ya.